Good morning and welcome to Yoga with me. Today we are having a beautiful practice today, all to do with staying grounded on stable grounds, feeling a sense of stability, feeling a sense of belonging, a sense of home. So it is connected to our root chakra, but this particular practice, we're going to stay really low to the ground, practicing our earth salutations, where normally we practice a lot of sun salutations. Today is going to be about staying really connected to the earth. But before we do that, we're just going to start with some breathing. So just come to any seated position that feels good for you. And we're just going to take a few cleansing breaths before we actually start with the other breath that I want to teach you today. Alright, so starting with those cleansing breaths, sit up nice and tall, feel that lengthening through the spine, roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Now our cleansing breath is breathing in through the nose as deeply as possible and exhaling through the mouth. So here we go. As you breathe in, feel that breath lifting up through the spine to the very crown of your head. And as you exhale, feel yourself letting go of all thoughts and emotions that don't serve you today or any day. Good. Now we're going to come into a breath called Robin's breath. So let's start with our hands at our heart. And I want you to bring the fingers together, but the thumb pointing in towards the chest, and if you can, maybe even touch the chest with your thumb. So this is Robin's breath. We breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, you're going to point your fingers towards me and reach all the way forward. And then as we inhale, we lift the arms up, open into a cactus pose. So elbows in line with the shoulders and pulling the elbows back as we lift the heart and the eye line up. And then on the next exhale, you're going to bring those arms back towards the front as we tuck the chin in and round out the spine. So 4 movements to Robin's breath. Again, bring the thumb to the chest, hands to the heart center. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Inhale, open into your cactus pose. And exhale, reach forward, round up the spine, chin to the chest. We're going to do a few more rounds of these. So inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, lift up and open wide. And exhale, reach forward, round out the spine. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, lift up tall, open the arms. And exhale, reach. I think you've probably got the gist now, so let's do it without me talking. And one more time. Good, and then just bring the hands to the heart and bring the breath into a natural pace. Good. Now inhale, reach the arms up, slide one arm across the ground as we come into a side stretch. And then reach just a little further before coming up and over to the other side. Reach the hand down across the mat and lift up and over. Good. And come on back. Good. Let's bring those hands together. The earth salutation that we are going to be doing means that we are going to be spending quite a bit of time on our hands. So we just want to warm up those wrists by just swirling them around, or if this is a little bit awkward for you, you can just come into some circles. And we're also going to find it quite intense through the shoulders. So reach the arms forward, take one arm across the body, maybe take the eye line over to those hands, and then reach it over to the other side. Good, let's do that one more time just to get that stretch through the shoulders now, waking them up. And over to the other side. Lovely. Good, reach up. And exhale, open, nice and wide. Lovely. Let's come onto all fours. Oh dear, I'm all tangled. Onto all fours and come right to the back of your mat. So you've got quite a bit of space in the front of your mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips as we come into our cat and cow. Now we want to work with the breath here, so allow the breath to completely dictate the tempo at which you move. So each inhale, come into your cow, and each exhale, round out the spine. Good, we're just warming up the spine and the front body. Good, let's take one more breath. And exhale. Good. Now bring the spine into a neutral position as we extend the right leg to the back and lift it up in line with the body. You want to push the ground away, lengthen through the neck. Now we're going to just rotate the ankle here a few times in each direction. Remember to hold the belly in nice and tight as we also hold in the ribs. Now keep that foot flexed as you cross it over towards the left-hand side of your body. And then maybe push the hips over towards the right as you take your eye line over to that foot. And you're going to feel that beautiful stretch through the side body, through the hips, maybe through the inner thigh. Depending on where you feel tightest is where you're going to feel that stretch. And then take that leg over to the other side. Push into the outside of the foot. Hinge the hips back just a little bit until you feel a nice little stretch on the inside of the leg. Remembering not to go too far, you want it to feel good, not painful. Good, and then let's bring that knee back underneath the hips as we take our hips side to side here. So you're just warming up the hips a little bit. Almost wagging your tail like a dog. A happy dog. Good. Alright, now we're going to take it over to the other side, so come back onto all fours, extend the left leg to the back, flex the foot and lift your leg up in line with the body. Again, just remember, keep pushing the ground away, we don't want to sit into the shoulders. And then circle the ankle at the back. Good, and then once you've done a few in one direction, we'll go over to the other way. And then keeping that foot flexed, cross your leg over towards the right hand side and rotate the body to look over at your foot. And that might mean pushing a little bit over to the left hand side and getting that extra stretch through the side body. Good, breathe deeply. Excellent. And then let's take that leg over to the outside, flatten the foot, and then you want to just hinge the hips back slightly so that you are getting that inner thigh stretch here. Lengthen through the spine. And breathe nice and deeply, slowly and calmly. Good, and let's bring that knee back, and we want to bring the knees together and the feet together as we sit back, bringing our bottoms onto our feet. So this is our rock pose, and I'm going to run through it quite slowly. We're going to do our earth salutations. The first 2 rounds, the right and the left, we're going to do pretty slowly just so that you can learn the sequencing. And then the next 4 rounds we will do fairly quickly with 1 breath per movement, bringing us into yoga flow. Alright, so the first one, we're going to sit up tall, taking our inhale here, reach the shoulder blades towards each other. As we exhale, we open the arms and reach our fingertips down towards the floor. And you might not touch the floor, that's okay. Just reach out, feel that extension through the arms. On your next inhale, we're going to push up through the feet and the shins of our legs as we lift the hips up and bring the arms up overhead. Good. Now the next movement is coming into a child's pose, but because we're coming from this heightened position, it is really getting our core to work. So sit the hips back as you reach the arms nice and straight back until you come all the way down. Now if you have not such a strong core or you've got lower back issues, then feel free to bring your hands down to the floor a little earlier. Alright, from here we're going to caterpillar our body all the way forward into a Cobra Pose. So we want to first scoop our chin as we bring our elbows down to the floor, and then our chest, and then our belly button onto the ground as we come into either a mini cobra or a sphinx pose, or you can push up into a full cobra. Good, and then exhale lower. Now if you need to transition through the knees, please do, as we come up into our downward facing dog. And this is our first downward facing dog of the day. So perhaps head all through the feet here. Just being reminded that any time that we're on our hands, you want to push into your fingertips so that your wrists are not taking all of the pressure. Good. And then depending on how flexible you're feeling today, you might want to incorporate a little bit more action within the hips here, just getting the right level of stretch for you. Now the next section of Earth Salutation is a little difficult, so just take it to the level that you can, because we're coming into a lot of 3-legged dogs here. So the first step is we're going to lift up the right leg to the back. And then we're going to bend the right knee, and with keeping the shoulders where they are, you're going to lift up the hip, rotating the lower part of the body and pushing the heel down of your left leg. Now please, if this is too difficult, just stay in your down dog, because the next thing we're going to do is pull our right knee all the way to the front and try and tap our forehead, rounding out the spine, and then back into our 3-legged dog. This time we're going to pull our knee all the way forward onto the floor as we come into a pigeon pose. I know that was tough going. I hope you're hanging in there. Okay, so bring the knee towards the right hand, and you want to bring your foot as close to your left hand as you can. And if this is a little tight, then feel free to place something under your bottom, or maybe even lift up on that back knee. Now, once we start moving with the breath, we're going to take a breath in, lifting up nice and tall, and then we're going to lie forward. And of course, you just come to wherever you can, so either on the elbows or reaching all the way forward. Right now, as we say hello to the muscles within the glutes here, maybe you just want to rock a little bit side to side. Good, and then we're going to step up on our hands, sit up nice and tall, tuck your toe under of that back foot. Now if the 3-legged dog is a little bit too intense for you, then come straight up into your downward facing dog. But if you can, push into the hands, push into your back foot as you lift up into your 3-legged dog, and then bring your foot back down into your down dog. You might want to lift your heels before bending the knees, bringing them together, bringing the feet together, and sitting back into your rock pose. Good, so that ends the first round. We're going to do one more round, nice and slow, before we start building it up with the breath. So sit up tall, inhale. Exhale, open the arms. Good. Now push into the feet and the shins as you push up into a nice tall kneeling position. Lift the arms up, and then we're going to fold into our child's pose. So sit those hips back, hold the belly button in towards the spine, and reach far forward. Bring the hands and the elbows to the floor as we caterpillar our body all the way forward into your Sphinx pose or into your Cobra. Beautiful. Now squeeze the inner thighs together, squeeze the feet together, activate the lower part of the body and push the floor away from you, whether it's through your elbows or through your hands. Now come up, transitioning through the knees if you need to, into your downward facing dog. Remember, push into your fingers, open the fingers as wide as you can as you tilt the sitting bones up to look at the sky and work to push the heels down towards the mat. Now on your next inhale, we're going to lift up the left leg this time. Lifting up and then flex that foot, bend the knee, keep the shoulders looking where they are as you tilt just the hips all the way around. Try and keep your shoulders looking at your mat. Here comes the really hard part as we pull our knee in towards our nose and really round out the spine. And here we go, push forward into a plank, round out the spine, and then push back into your three-legged dog. This time, step the knee and foot forward as we come into our pigeon pose and slide that leg back. Getting you to work hard today. So let's just maneuver side to side as we say hello to our glute muscles. And then if it feels good for you to do so at this point, come down onto the elbows or reach all the way down, whatever feels best for you. And you just want to maybe move side to side here so that your glutes are feeling a little warmer. This is a version of dynamic stretching. Lovely. Good, so this next part you're going to either step back straight into your downward facing dog, or if you can, into a three-legged dog. So step the hands up, tuck your toe under as we push up, three-legged dog. Bring your leg down into down dog. And then bend the knees all the way down to the floor. Sit the hips back, come into rock pose. Good, so I hope you're ready to now move one movement per breath. So, inhale. Exhale, open the arms. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. With your exhale, fold into child's pose. Inhale, caterpillar into cobra. Exhale into down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, bend and twist. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, knee to nose, round out the spine. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, pigeon pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit up tall. Tuck the toe under. Exhale, lift up into down dog. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knees to the floor and sit back as we just breathe in for one round. Good, let's do that one more time on the other side. Inhale. Exhale, open the arms. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, caterpillar forward. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift up the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, rotate the hips. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Exhale into your pigeon pose. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit up tall once more. Tuck the toe under. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, come to your down dog. And then lower the knees to the floor. Sit back into your rock pose. And breathe. Good. Now I hope to do another round of Earth Salutations, but we will run out of time, so we're going to end the Earth Salutations there and hopefully revisit that in classes to come. So let's walk the hands forward. You're going to bring your right leg all the way forward to step between your hands, and as you do so, push the hips as far forward as you can. And we're going to open our toe and open our heel to bring our foot a little wider, and you can bring this hand onto the inside. Now we really want to get into this low, or this wide, low crescent supported lunge, pushing the hips forward and feeling that lovely stretch through the hips. Just make sure that your heel is underneath the knee. Now we are going to come into a stretch with our back leg, and I'm going to give you two options. First of all, you can either bring this hand up and then just reach to the back, and that's going to give you a lovely stretch. But if you can, and you're not on your kneecap, that you're actually balancing on the top of your knee, then bend that leg and aim to try and grab the foot as you take your eye line back. Remembering that you have your option to stay here if bending that leg is a little too hard. Good, breathe deeply. And then gently release that leg. Bring your hand onto the inside of your foot. And since we're here, and I absolutely love the lizard pose, we're going to roll over onto the outside of our foot here. Let this knee hang open and just let the hips come down as low as it feels good for you. Now, if you feel you can go a little deeper, feel free to come down onto the elbows, but please only go to where it feels good for you in your body today. And maybe you want to let your head drop. I don't normally tell you to do that. But let your head drop and maybe just look side to side, or just let it dangle forward and back as we release any tension from the neck. Good. Now let's step those hands back up. If you're on your elbows, bring that foot flat and walk the heel and toe back so it's underneath the knee. Now slide the hips back as you release this leg and pull it back underneath your hips. We're going to come onto the other side, so step the left foot forward, push the hips as far forward as you can, and then open toe and heel over to the outside of your mat, bringing your hands to the inside. Now once again, you have this option to rotate the shoulders, take that left arm all the way back as you push your hips forward, and then if you can, bend your leg, keeping with that stretch through that quad of the back leg. So your quad is your thigh. Now one thing that is really important, I mentioned it on the first side, but if you are balancing on your kneecap, you can really end up hurting it. So please only balance this back leg up on the knee if you are balancing on the space above your kneecap. And gently release that stretch. Bring the hands back onto the inside of your foot. Roll over onto the outside of your left leg and let that knee hang open. And if this feels good for you, you stay there. But if you can, if you need a deeper stretch, then you're going to come down onto the elbows, lengthen through the spine, and when your spine is nice and straight, then maybe let the head dangle down. Just make sure you're continuing to breathe deeply here. Sometimes when we're in some poses that are a little harder, we begin to hold our breath. And it's important just to keep that breath flowing nice and easily through the body. Right, let's step the hands back up, flatten your foot, walk the heel and toe back so your knee is underneath the shoulder. Hinge the hips back to bring your knees back, and then sit back into our rock pose. Good, so we are going to now come into our Shavasana, but before we do, we're going to do just one more stretch, which is on the back. And because this particular sequencing might have really brought up the fire within you, you might cool down really quickly. So make sure you've got something nice and warm to keep you covered should you need it. But when you're ready, come down onto your back. Lying nice and flat, you're going to bring just one knee into the chest. And then you're going to take that knee over to the other side of the body. Try and keep your shoulders flat on the ground as you take your eye line over to the hand pointing in the opposite direction to your knee. Good, and then gently bring it back, release that leg down to the ground as we pull the other knee up into the chest and then escort it over to the other side, taking the eye line over towards the opposite hand. Extend the legs down onto the ground, reach arms and legs as far away from each other as they can go. Lift the belly up off the floor. Take a nice deep breath and then exhale. Open the arms all the way down by the sides. Bring your palms to face up. Tuck the shoulder blades under the back. Let your legs completely relax. So don't allow the legs to stay firm. You want them to flop open. And then just quickly run through your body from the top of your head down to the tip of your toes, ensuring that each and every muscle has let go of tension, allowing you to melt down into the earth. And as we lie here, just beginning to breathe deeply. As you breathe deeply, we want to connect to the emotion of love, which is the emotion that has been proven scientifically to really melt away any feelings of anxiety or stress. So in your mind's eye, think about the people or the person or the thing that you love more than anything in this world. Maybe you notice the smile crossing your face, but with each breath, just let that feeling intensify to a point that it feels like it is too big to be contained within your body. committing to yourself to hold on to that emotion of love throughout your day, today and every day. Feel free to remain lying down, or if you're ready to come into a seated position, just bring your hands to your heart with the recognition